Hello, this is Jim Wilson with AgGateway. In this third of 5 videos in the Click series, we'll explore more of the user interface features of Click. Let's get started. We'll begin by examining a familiar message within AgGateway. That's Order Create. So we search on Order Create. It shows up in the search results. We click on it. It brings it up in the main tree view. And as you might expect, you click on the disclosure triangles and the structure unfolds. As you click on various items, in this case we'll go to Product Identifier, content on the right is filled in for that selected item. So in this case, we choose Product Identifier and we see the definition, the unique code or number for a specific product. And we see notes, which includes synonyms. And we see a list of parent elements. And we see a list of messages in which Product Identifier appears. We can click on Agency. And in this case, we don't have a definition. Actually, we don't have definitions for any of the attributes, but we see at the bottom in the value information section a code list, which includes Ag's product ID, ANSI, assigned by buyer, and so on. Notice the various visual cues in Click. Items that are bold indicate required, and that's supported by the occurrence listed after the item. So for example, header says 1.1, which means a header is required, 1 is required, and only 1 is permitted. If you go down to Order Create Product Line Item, it says 1 ... star, and that indicates that 1 is required, but many may occur. Also, there are icons to the left of the text that give some indication of whether or not an element has structure or whether it's just a value and whether or not an item may occur many times. So you can see the icon next to Order Create Product Line Item that the structure icon has a little plus sign on it, which indicates that there can be more than one. And again, it's supported by the text that follows 1 ... star. So now let's look at Ship Notice. And let's choose the USA feed context. And then choose Ship Notice Status. And we'll hide the parent elements and the messages to give ourselves more room for the notes and resize the notes section. And you can see here that there is a context note. And so what this means is that when you implement Ship Notice in the context of a feed-related process in the United States, that this note applies. So it says in this context being USA and feed, the element's use is conditional. That is, it depends on the situation. If a ship notice is updated, then send update as the status. Otherwise, it would not use this on an original ship notice. Notice that when I click on ship notice status in the search results, which brings ship notice status to the top, the context notes go away. This is a very important point because context requires a drill down starting at the top of an entire message. Now I'll click on parent elements to go back up to the top, demonstrating how parent elements work. And now let's switch back to Order Create. And we'll drill down to Schedule, Date, Time information under the Order Create product line item. and examine date-time information. Notice here that it's a choice. You can choose to have date-time or date-time range. Click indicates this by having a choose ... element and then all the options enclosed. Notice also that when I hover over date-time range, a tooltip appears. In this case, it says structure for ranges of date-time information. All date-time elements need to conform to ISO 8601. So now let's examine contract product line item. Notice that a child of contract product line item is itself contract product line item. And I can drill down on that and we see another contract product line item. Obviously, this is recursive, and click allows you to keep drilling down as far as you want. However, as we'll see later, when we produce Excel documentation, that situation is addressed by just including the first occurrence and just adding the word recursive in parentheses afterwards. Another feature of Click is to right-click on an element and choose Hoist from the context menu. This hoists the selected element to the top. It makes it the root of the tree. Another handy feature is Open New Window. So we click on Open New Window. As you would expect, a new window is open. And let's set these side by side, and we'll hide various panels. And then in the left panel, we'll choose AgGateway Open Standards version 4. And we'll search for partner information again. And you'll notice here that in version 4, unloading point and loading point are just text, whereas in version 5.3, they are structures. A final feature I want to point out is that you can navigate by using the arrow keys. Just click on an item in the tree view, and the up and down arrow keys would do what you expect. They go up and down. And then the right and left arrow keys will expand or collapse structures. And that completes our UI overview. In the next video, we'll discuss how to produce Excel documentation and then take a look at the Excel file that is produced. Thank you.